Welcome to another episode of the Blood Knight Reacts, episode 21. I'm your host, the Blood Knight of the Old Republic of Bloodganistan. Like, share, and subscribe. And today, at this moment, at this time, I am reacting to the video "They're Repulsive," Tucker's rant on how baby boomers betrayed Gen Z, and to a lesser extent, I'd also say millennials as well. So, yeah. Let's get into this video, folks. And yeah.
It's like this inherent contradiction. We're super wealthy on one side, like a powerhouse juggernaut, and we are like an economic nightmare on the other side. How did that happen? Answer.
Yeah. What happened is that the ladder got pulled up. The ladder got pulled up by the baby boomers. It's like jobs that normally would require jobs that were normally entry-level jobs. Now you need a college degree. You need 10 years of experience for an entry-level job. You need certificates you didn't need to get in the past. A whole bunch of shit.
Wealth went to older people at the expense of the next generation.
That's for sure.
Every single economic growth decision of the last 30 years has been made.
Yeah. When it comes to housing, it's like the boomers, houses are treated as investments rather than homes. As a result, basically, whole bunch of companies run by boomers, BlackRock and a whole bunch of other investment firms, they swooped in and bought a whole bunch of property during the various recessions that have occurred and all that, economic instability and all that jazz. So, yeah. Can't afford any home. Like, back in the olden days, it's like freaking boomers could buy houses and whatnot for like $6 freaking grand. Now, I know freaking inflation, that's still, I know inflation is a thing and whatnot, but like still, it's freaking insane.
I am going to benefit. My baby boomer generation is going to benefit. And I don't care if it hurts young people. And I'm not anti-boomer. I get negative hate mail all the time because the boomers are super protective of their generation, as if I'm like attacking Presbyterians or something.
They're repulsive. They've always been repulsive. I grew up in a world. I was born in 1969. The baby boom ended in 1965. So it was 65 or 64. But whatever. It was just the post-war generation, ended mid-60s. I'm not a boomer. Thank heaven. My father's not a boomer. He's born in 1941. Totally different attitudes, right? He was born before the Second World War, our entry into it. I was educated by them. They were my teachers, and they were the worst, the dumbest, most narcissistic, the shallowest. Every sentence had...
Oh, yeah. I got an older uncle, baby boomer, and yeah. Let me tell you a story. So, I was looking for a job. Right? I was looking for a job. And yes, employment. They had like this program you could take. And you'd earn a little bit of money, and you'd take this course, you'd earn a little bit of money, have something to put on your resume. You said that you take this course. It was like a week long thing, something like that. And you could earn a little bit of money doing it. Yeah, yes, employment in Canada. And my mom asked my uncle, it's like, hey, can the Blood Knight stay at your place? I'll pay for his food. It's like, I'll slip you some money, pay for his food, etc. And he said no. Just flat out refused. And wouldn't have just been there for like a week, and that's it. But no, flat out refused. With like no answer given.
Had like 9 cliches in it. They were all at Woodstock. They remembered when Kennedy was shot. It was the day the music died. Like everything they said was like the Don McLean tune. It didn't make sense. It was just a series of evocative cliches strung together to create a feeling. They were idiots, but
To be fair about Woodstock, I think they had the Who there, Santana, Jimi Hendrix, a shitload of great musicians, not gonna lie, were there at Woodstock. Not gonna lie. Although that being said, it's like, it was, from what I've seen of footage and whatnot, it's like it was a whole bunch of messy, it was all freaking muddy and whatnot. And I guess like everyone was doing drugs out of their minds and doing a whole bunch of sex and debauchery. So yeah. Although yeah, the music there, the musicians and whatnot, fucking great, eh? I will say that. Fucking Hendrix, who else? I forget who else played Woodstock, but yeah. Anyway.
above all, they were about themselves. I hated them then. I hate them now. In 4th grade, I remember saying to a buddy of mine, I hate these people. Our math teacher just told us, I was at Woodstock. I was like, how many fucking people were at Woodstock? Like, everyone in America was at Woodstock? I thought it was 300,000 people. He made it sound like they're the worst. They're the ones who lecture us about the civil rights movement for 40 years as the actual supposed beneficiaries of the civil rights movement, black people, declined. They didn't care. They were only about feeling good about themselves. The only good thing they produced was like the music of 1972. Other than that, horrible people.
Music of the 60s and the 70s, really good. Top notch. It's like top notch. It's like outside of the 80s, it's like music from the 60s and 70s. Top notch. But I attribute that to like, it's like the technology was evolving and whatnot. It's like the right place at the right time with regards to the technology and the ability of recording capabilities. It's like they were discovering the music. They were discovering new technologies for recording music and whatnot, and new techniques, and what have you. But yeah, the music is top notch. I'll say that about the boomers. Also, yeah, movies as well. movies and the music. Holy shit.
Horrible. Sorry.
Well, and so, yes. So,
I grew up with them.
That's okay. Everyone can email Tucker your hate mail when it
No,
comes
they're
to the boomer hate.
disgusting. And by the way, if you are a baby boomer, take some responsibility for what you participated in.
That is the kicker. That's what I will say. You guys have had it great. You've had the greatest run. You've had what either Eric Weinstein would call the ego, the embedded growth obligation, right? Ego, meaning things just keep getting.
Yeah. Yeah, the amount of debauchery. Yeah, shitload of debauchery. Shitload of debauchery. The kind of debauchery that makes Lanesh giggle, I guess. No. Oh, you can't enjoy that kind of debauchery this day and age. You really can't. Unless you're like, because it's like a lot of women, it's like there've been cases where it's like oh, you get drunk, have sex with the women, and it's like the woman will just revoke consent. That's freaking happened, from what I've heard. Or better yet, it's like she's sober and she revokes consent and all that. And then you're facing rape allegations. You gotta fight that, from what I've heard. So, yeah. It's like...
getting better. The market goes up, your house gets more valuable, and you guys are trying to squeeze the last of a lemon, and you are leaving a crummy, unrecognizable serfdom in your wake.
Of course they are.
And that is, it's bad for you, it's bad.
Let me tell you something. As someone who works in customer service, the most accommodating people to serve, the most accommodating people, Gen Z and millennials, my generation and Gen Z, they're the most easiest to serve, because because Lord help you if you get a boomer's order wrong. Or Lord help you if you don't have what they want. Because, of course, we don't have what you want. It's like... It's freaking one of the most popular things on the menu. Everyone's buying it. It's like... The boomers are the most likely to throw a freaking hissy fit, I tell ya.
Bad for your legacy, it's bad for your nation.
They're the ones who went right from protesting the Vietnam War to like making all this money on Wall Street. Remember Jerry Rubin was a yippie? I mean, this is before you were around, but
John Kerry went...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they fucking... Yeah, the boomers, it's like, yeah, they fucking sold out. As soon as they got into positions of power, they fucking sold out. They started making money hand over fist. And sold out. Threw all their ideals away. Come on.
From, it's the whole thing. It was all live action role playing rebellion. It's LARPing is what it was.
I would just exclude anyone born between 1946 and 1964 from ever holding any office. And I know a lot of them, I'm sure they're nice people or whatever.
We like Trump.
But your generation, I forgot. But you're just, the whole generation is just rotten.
But let's extrapolate one part of it, which is that it's definitely that generation.
Yeah. When it comes to Donald Trump and why boomers hate him, it's like Donald Trump, it's like he's a bunch of 1980s tropes just jammed together in one person. He is he is a whole bunch of tropes just jammed together. It's like for a guy like Donald Trump, the 90s didn't end. It's like the 80s, they didn't end in the 90s for him. Donald Trump, he got his. He made bank. You know, he's Donald Trump. He's like the most boomer of boomers. He is like one of the goddamn. He's like a next level boomer that sort of ascended. He is freaking ascended amongst his generation. He freaking ascended. He's the most boomer of his generation. And yeah, it's like he can talk casually with people and all that. It's like, it's crazy. But no. It's like, because Donald Trump is like the most boomer of the boomers, the other boomers, they don't like him. Because they ultimately envy what he has. It's my take.
Has not had a regard for leaving an economic.
They don't care about anyone but themselves. That's the whole point.
So if you employ that belief into fiscal policy and monetary policy, this is what you get: an intergenerational war.
Yeah, their grandchildren who they don't care about.
And so what I'm trying,
they're on John's Island.
Or wherever they are, right?
They're on John's Island, but whatever.
Well, yeah, and amongst other places.
No, I like John's Island. I'm just saying they're in retirement.
Yes.
And they're kind of psyched with what they have.
And their stocks keep on going up.
Yeah, and their grandson Dylan is like totally zoned out on prescription drugs, and they don't really care.
Right. Or if they are to impart some wisdom, it's, when I was your age, we worked 2 jobs and I was able to put myself through college, and we worked.
When I was your age, back in my day, we used to smoke a shitload of pot. Back in my day, we used to smoke a shitload of pot. We used to do a shitload of LSD and have copious amounts of. We used to have a shitload of sex and do drugs. We were listening to some of the greatest musicians of the time. Back in my day, we were high as fuck. And you know what we did in the 80s? In the 70s, we did cocaine. We did a shitload of drugs. And engaged in untold amounts of debauchery. And when we weren't doing that, we were buying houses for nickels. We were buying houses for nickels. And then all the money, all the prices of the houses shot up, and now we're millionaires, and we're selling all our. We're selling all our money, our houses, to the companies called BlackRock and all these other investment firms. Fuck you. Fuck you all you younglings and all you young generations, and we're just gonna be miserable bastards to you in the customer service industry. Oh my god. Oh. Yes, that's fucking boomers. And look at us, we're so wealthy. We'll use these shitloads of money we've made to build ourselves cybernetic android bodies so we'll live forever and buy property on Mars and the moon, and we'll build our bodies made out of solid gold and silver and platinum. It will just be all jewel encrusted and all that. We'll have freaky robot sex on Mars. And we'll do it astral. We'll do the robots on the moon. We'll get Elon Musk who will send us all to Mars and the moon, where we will ascend to beings of consciousness made out of energy and light, where we will then continue to have orgasmic orgies for all time in the eternal, infinite cosmos, where we do drugs and do the Woodstock, but it's in space. And Keith Richards will be still alive because he is an immortal vampire who cannot be killed by conventional means. And we will all just drink space tea and the bajillionaires and we'll be robots. Wouldn't that be great? We're the boomers. We'd become robots in outer space and android bodies and immortal, made out of gold, where we fuck endlessly into the eternal night. Because we're billionaires and quadrillionaires.
Worked really hard. And I'm telling you,
Selfish people.
There are lazy people in Gen Z, of course. But honestly, the majority of young people I come in contact with, they're working their tail off. This is not a stereotypical.
When it comes to work, me personally, I try to do the best job I can. So people don't call. So people don't, they don't talk shit about me. It's like I try to do the best job I can within the limits of my mental and physical stamina. And yeah, I tell you something. It's like if the money was there, you'll get. If the money is there, they'll be doing the best job they can. And the money's there. I'll tell you.
Lazy generation. I'm sorry. Like, they're no lazier than some of the people I've seen in prior generations.
But if you give
I
young
will die
men-
on that hill. I'll defend this generation.
I mean, but young girls, I've got a lot of them, like they're always buzzing around doing something. They're just self-directed. But young men, I think, that's why everyone likes to hire women, because they're self-directed. You give them a task, they'll do the task.
They're micro.
100%.
Women
They're
are the best
amazing
micro.
at it.
And look what the scriptures tell us. And this is a very interesting thing. What did God say? He said, it's not good for...
When it comes to women in the workplace, it's a mixed bag. I'll tell you that much. There's a lot of talking that goes on, and they're the most liable to have drama. They're the most liable to talk amongst themselves. Yeah, that's what I've observed.
For man to be alone.
Exactly.
But he wasn't alone. He had God. What he was saying is that it's not good for man to be without a woman.
Well, of course.
So it's not enough for a man just to have God. And some people don't like this teaching, but it's true. Adam had God. He had a relationship with God. Man, if you look at almost every third world country where men don't feel that they are able to have...
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Where the hell? Okay, yeah, pink. There. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Bring up the Windows Paint. Let me tell you something about money. Let me tell you something about women. It's like, let me show you some knowledge. Let me show you some knowledge I learned. Like, women, they equal time times money. And what does time equal? Time equals money. And what is money? Money squared. And more money equals problems. Therefore, women equals problems squared. And yeah. That's what I learned. A little bit of wisdom I've learned. Women equals problems squared. In this day and age. Just figured I'd put out that wisdom that I found.
Economic prosperity or any romantic future, you get either revolution, gang violence, or complete disconnect.
Or suicide.
Or suicide, which is what we have, right? So it's the most suicidal generation in history. Now, I don't want to paint like a totally negative picture because there is one really good trend, and it's not because of baby boomers, and it's not because of our leaders. It's that
I guess that.
Well, no, it's young men are going back to church. That is legit. That's happening because honestly, it's the only thing that they can find. It's a life raft in this just tsunami of chaos and disorder.
The recent threat of foreign.
Oh yeah. Me personally, when it comes to religion, it's like I don't know what God is real, which one's real. I don't know which one's real. It's like I need some proof before I go to a different religion. Oh, this is sad. Okay.
And I'm evangelical. I'll say, well, first of all, they want something that has lasted. They want something that is ancient and that is beautiful, something that has stood the test of time, something that's not going to change, something that's all of a sudden not going to all of a sudden just flip around and have some sort of, transgender story out there. They are, so that's a really positive trend in the midst of all this. So
the boomers. You have the destruction of the nuclear family. You got the destruction of the basically they destroyed the nuclear family. You got no fault divorce. You got what else? Oh yeah, lack of increased secularism. You got a whole bunch of that going on. And it's like, yeah, basically the boomers, they took a heat gun to the glue that kept everything together. And now we're paying the price for their hedonism and decadence to it.
that's my great hope is the spiritual hope. that the young men that are lost, and if any young man is listening to this right now, like stop watching porn, stop, smoking weed, stop drinking endlessly, find yourself back to church. That
Okay, quit watching porn. I'll quit watching porn when women become cheaper. When women become cheaper and less insane. I'll quit porn when that happens. When women become cheaper and the women become less insane. Till then, as with regards to drinking and the weed, I don't drink and I don't smoke weed. So, yeah. There are some days I've thought about smoking weed. There are some days it's like I don't smoke cigarettes, but some days I wish I smoked cigarettes. But then, or at least vaped. Or at least have like a vape. Some days. Anyway.
that will reorient your life.
I agree.
And do what the church tells you to do, right? Find a woman, marry her, provide, have more kids than you can afford. That's my advice for young men.
Yes.
Don't play the
Well, the problem with that is the divorce statistics. 50% divorce rate, 80% of the divorce is initiated by women. And if you got kids, over 90% chance they're going to the woman. Unless she is a freaking provable drug addict, or she doesn't show up at court. Unless you can prove without a shadow of a doubt that she's fucking injecting drugs into her veins or smoking meth or crack, there's no way you get your kids. It's like, I'm sorry, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, but yeah. It's like no fault divorce. It's like, yes, there are a lot of religious women out there, but it's like the problem is, it's like the tools are there for women to just destroy your life. Just destroy it. You get divorced, you lose your kids, you gotta pay alimony, you gotta pay the legal fees for yourself, and she'll go for legal fees for her. You gotta pay child support. Oh, and that's if she's, and that's, oh, and what's even worse, it's like, the kid might not even be yours if she's not that loyal to you. So, yeah. There is a lot of shit. The tools are there. The tools are in they're all there. It's like a woman can go after your personal life, your social life. Yeah. I've heard stories, and yeah, it can get pretty insane. It can get pretty vicious.
victim, even though you legitimately can play the victim card on everything we've said.
Agree.
The mindset of a victim is parasitic to your soul.
I completely agree. And you shouldn't whine.
Whining is bad. But that's our job. And just to be clear, so people say, but Charlie, you talk about this a lot from a whining standpoint. No.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Charlie. Sorry, Charlie Kirk. But yeah, shit's fucked, bud. Shit's fucked. Shit is fucked. It's like the movie War Games. It's like the only winning move is to not play.
No. What I'm doing is I'm communicating to a very specific audience of people in charge that are ignoring this, and they are ignoring what's coming next. And that's the whole context of this conversation.
So I agree with you. I mean, I really hope that that people are listening to you, people in charge.
Thank you. I mean, the president does, to his great credit.
It seems obvious that everything you've said is true, and I just want to say for the 9th time, I really hope members of Congress will listen to what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think it's the most important thing right now.
Here is what I worry about. It's like, there's going to be a lot of single women out there, and a lot of men who aren't dating any of these women. So here's what I think's going to happen. Like, a lot of women, they're going to start, especially the single moms. A lot of women out there, especially the single moms, they're going to have the initiative to try and ask out guys. They're going to have the initiative. They're going to try and ask out guys. And then it's like if these guys reject these women, then these women will go after. They'll do whatever they can to like destroy a guy's reputation. You know, that's what I worry about. That's what I worry about. It's like, that's what I worry about. And that incidents like that, they'll start becoming more and more common. And whatnot. That's what I think's gonna happen. Like, more women, they're not gonna get any dates. Men are just gonna most of the men, they're just gonna give up. And then these women, they're gonna have the initiative. They're gonna start asking men for dates. And if the men reject them, these women are gonna go after those men to basically destroy their lives, to basically accuse them of false shit, you know. That's what I think's gonna happen. And it'll become more common. And quite possibly organized, because you fucking never know. In this day and age, this world is getting stupider and more insane, and membrane day goes by.
Because we are in the last stages of what we had, and we're moving towards something new. This isn't working, and it's not working for the people it has to work for, which is the next generation. They're specifically the ones being hurt. And so they're going to be big changes. And people will be punished for what we're going through right now. There's no question about it, either from the right or from the left. And my concern is not preventing them from being punished. It's making sure the right people are punished. It feels to me like the greatest injustices are when we've solved the crime, but we executed the wrong guy.
Right.
And I just want to make certain that the predators are punished, the people taking advantage of desperate young people, the people who are, getting rich from payday loans and from, buy now, pay later for your pizza schemes. Like, those people should be crushed, and not, hardworking people.
You know what? If you want to stop crime, what you do is you keep the criminals locked in jail. And what you do is you make the jail worse than the outside. You make the jail worse than the outside. You go full El Salvador, where it's like prisoners, they're sleeping on shelving units and whatnot. That will alone discourage criminals, because no one wants to sleep on a metal shelf. I don't want to sleep on a metal shelf. You viewers at home don't want to sleep on a metal shelf. If you want to stop like, you want to stop crime? It's like you make a metal shelf to sleep on. You make that the punishment. You have a zero tolerance policy. It's like you don't have any visitor. It's like you strip the criminals of their rights. You go full El Salvador. Unlike, let's just say we'll say like the most violent of the violent, you know. And you make sure that if they do have any kind of communications, it's like there will be like lawyers and whatnot. Like there'd be a library, and that'd be about it. Maybe like a priest or something that comes in, but everything's locked down. You can't bring anything into prison. It's like prisoners can't interact. It's like you have like once a month you can interact with like a person on the outside or something like that. You gotta put the punishment back in prison, basically.
How do you make sure that punishment is allocated justly?
Yeah, well, first, this is why the right needs to administer it, because we would pursue justice where the left would probably pursue revenge.
Exactly.
And revenge is bad.
Exactly. So good.
So, but first, secondly, I hope you're right. I hope that the people that are doing bad here, which is plenty, will be held accountable. But there's no guarantee. No one went to jail after 2008. And I think that was a stain on our nation. I mean, I remember my family having to metaphorically and literally downsize after the 2008 financial crisis. I mean, that was a real turning point, if you will.
I had to sell my house.
Yeah, and we didn't, praise God, but I remember.
Anyway, that's my video for reaction for the day. I'm her host, Blood Knight of the Old Republic of Blood Afghanistan. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace out.